Hi, everyone. I'm John C. Morley, the host of the JMOR Tech Talk Show and Inspirations for Your Life. Hey guys, welcome to the JMOR Tech Talk Show. It is great to be with you. It is Valentine's Day today. So if you're watching this on Valentine's Day, well, happy Valentine's Day to you. Otherwise, definitely want to thank you for tuning in because it's always a great program here. And I hope you had a great Valentine's Day if you're watching this after Valentine's Day. I am John C. Morley, serial entrepreneur. And I'm not only a podcast host, but I'm also a podcast coach. And it is great to be with you again here on the JMOR Tech Talk Show. And so I want to let you guys know that we are actually in our fourth series. We're on show 7, Tech and Policy Shifts, AI, DEI, and Industry Moves. Well, that's a lot to get into one sentence, isn't it? All right. So welcome, everyone. I am your host, John C. Morley, serial entrepreneur. I'm not only a podcast host, but I'm also a podcast coach. And it is a privilege and pleasure to be with you guys once again on another day or another evening or whenever you're watching us. You can always tune into believemeachieve.com. As well as catching us live on a variety of different places. So thank you so much for tuning in. I'm going to give you the latest in tech, AI and industry shifts, and don't miss all the other great stuff. So again, welcome to the JMOR Tech Talk Show. Let's just kick this off, all right? So the world of technology is moving at lightning speed. And so the JMOR Tech Talk Show has all the insider insights that you could ever need, from major corporate decisions to groundbreaking AI advancements to some of the things that we're covering this week in our episode. Join me now as I break down the top headlines, including Accenture's DEI goal changes, Oracle AI-powered financial tools, Google's diversity target shift, and much more. Whether you're a tech enthusiast or a business leader, there's something for everyone here on the show. And if you'd like to go grab something from the kitchen, maybe it's something hot, something cold, maybe it's something healthy, maybe it's something sweet or something tart, whatever that be, go ahead and get that and hurry on back because we want to get this show going. All right, everyone. So the first thing I want to talk about is Accenture. So Accenture ends their DEI goals. And before I get into this, you're probably saying, John, what the heck is DEI? Well, that's a very, very good question. So DEI actually stands for something. It's diversity, equity, and inclusion. So basically, it's all about no discrimination and everyone should be included, inclusivity. So Accenture's recent decision to pause its diversity, equity, and inclusion policy and goals has sparked some heated discussions across the corporate world. In light of shifting political dynamics, some companies are rethinking the way they approach DEI policies, especially in the light of regulatory and political pressure. While Accenture remains committed to promoting diversity, they've opted to take a different approach that doesn't tie them to specific numerical goals. So this move is seen as a response to the growing challenge companies face in navigating the intersection of workplace diversity and evolving political landscapes. And I know you're probably saying, hey, John, that's something crazy, but it's the truth. It is our world. And this move is seen as a response to the growing challenges companies are facing in navigating the intersection of workplace diversity and evolving political landscapes. As DEI efforts face more scrutiny, this decision may set a new precedent for other major companies. I know just the other day on TT I was posting, and I got a lot of flack about this, telling me, who am I to post something like this? And I just told people that, look, I'm just sharing what's going on. And, they're like, well, people shouldn't get hired just because they have some type of, diversity reason. I said, well, companies are supposed to hire so many people that fit into that umbrella. Now, of course, they have to be skilled, right? But you'd be surprised how many people were just like trying to take my head off. And I was like, I'm just stating some facts. And I was curious about your opinion, but some people, they're very well vested in this area where they just don't want to discuss anything because they're annoyed because other people have taken their jobs. And so the whole idea of DEI is to give everyone a chance, race, religion, etc. And so by doing this, um, it allows these people to be in a pool, but it doesn't mean that they can get hired just because of that diversity. They still have to have the right skills. It just means that they have to hire somebody with those skills. That's part of a diversity. And so, as I said to you, as the DEI efforts face more scrutiny, the decision could set a precedent and it could make a big change. But this DEI Accenture issue, it's big, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, basically, the headline was Accenture scraps diversity and inclusion goals. And, you know, this is something that many people didn't expect, rolling back DEI targets and stuff like that. And we're just going to have to keep an eye on it. But I feel that this is going to be a moving target, that you're not going to be able to just say, like, yes or no to this. There's going to have to be some things that get milled over, I should say. Number two, Oracle launches a AI-powered financial pricing model. So Oracle has unveiled a cutting edge, is what they call it, AI-driven financial pricing model that is poised to change the game for business across industries. The new software harnesses machine learning algorithms to analyze financial data, predict future trends, and provide businesses with smarter pricing strategies. They claim that by using AI, Oracle's software will offer a level of precision and scalability that traditional methods simply can't match. This innovation, they claim, is especially crucial for companies in the financial sector, where accurate pricing and forecasts are essential for profitability and sustainability. As Oracle's AI-powered pricing model continues to evolve, it could redefine how financial departments operate and make strategic decisions. And I know what you're probably saying, was the Oracle AI price model a good idea? And I can't give you an answer on that right now because it just rolled out, not too long ago. And so if we can understand that they're making this shift, and the reason they're trying to do this is because, first of all, everyone in the AI industry is trying to make more money. All right. You've got sites out there that were selling AI services for $1 and $2. Now you've got sites that are selling AI services for as much as $50 for an hour or 15 minutes. So you might say, why? And this is a great question that we can get into. Why are AI prices for, let's say, software as a service increasing? That's probably the thing. If we've got more scale, I think the reason it's increasing is because people are paying more money for AI. So that means things like cooling farms, right, for data centers, and because it's costing more money to operate, they've got to push this down the pike to the consumer or to the developer or the business user or whoever it is. And so this is the real reason why they're doing this. So you're going to see a lot more add-ons for AI enhancements. Video companies are doing this that do video editing software that are online as software as a service. A lot of tools out there are coming with, let's say, a limited set of AI intelligence Or what they're doing is they're giving you so many credits free, or I shouldn't say free, included with your subscription every month. Adobe's moving to this model, Canva moved to this model. And although the credits might be, you know, a lot, I think Canva does like 500 or 800. And so, although they do a lot, the question is, are they doing enough? Because you see, when you use these systems and you ask it to engage its AI abilities, if you're not happy with the result, guess what happens? There's no refunds. And if the place does do a refund, well, they're going to cancel your subscription. So I think we've just got to be cognizant of what's going on in this world and the fact that we're going to expect to pay a lot more money for AI software. This is very important. We will pay more money for AI and AI software services. And it's because it's costing everyone else more money. The question people ask all the time is, how much does artificial intelligence really cost? And so, that's a great question. AI pricing is all over the map. Analysts predicted spending on AI systems had really toppled over 118 billion in 2022. And they claim that it's going to surpass 300, let me say that number again, 300 billion in the next few years. But how much does AI intelligence really cost? That's a tough question. From enterprises to startups, everyone's asking. The good news is that AI pricing covers a lot of different areas. Third-party AI software can cost you anywhere from $0 to $40,000 a year. Custom AI solutions can cost you anywhere from, let's just say, $6,000 to $300,000 a year. So in comparison, custom AI solutions cost anywhere from $6,000 to about $300,000. The price tag includes development and rollout because there's a lot that has to go into that, training and things like that. Ongoing AI services for consulting and things like that generally cost less and depend on the consultant's hourly fee. The average AI consultant right now, and I'm not giving you prices of what we charge, but I'm just telling you what the average AI consultant is charging between $200 and $350 per hour. If your company uses third-party AI software, like for a pre-built chatbot, you could expect to pay $40,000 per year to manage that. So what determines the cost? It seems like this really gray area, and it is. So companies can choose from several different types of AI software solutions. One is a chatbot, which you all know what chatbots are, analysis systems, virtual assistants, project types, things like, is it a drift? Drifts are between $400 to $1,500 a month, and that's kind of like a scale that could go up or down. Then you've got things that are more set at a lower cost, but they're also never going to really go up, except if you go to like their premium plan, like some of the video people are doing. So TARs are typically $99 to $499 a month. And so in comparison, prices for developing a custom chatbot could start at $6,000 and go up to $15,000. So AI features have a lot of different things, right? You have data format, you have data storage, you have data structure, you can have unstructured or structured. And by structured, we can also make our own structure, our own data structure. I won't get into that today because that's a whole basically show in itself. Data processing speed, the minimum accuracy rate for predictions, data visualization, dashboard requirements, and more. And there's even, when we talk about data storage, there's even the type of storage. So are they going to mechanical commercial drives? They're enterprise for like servers. Are they going to SSD drives, which are more money? Or are they going to like M.2 chips, right? So this is the thing, and most people don't realize that AI is going to keep like moving around the industry. And I attribute that to basically be about demand. And so as more people are using AI and it becomes more readily available, guess what's going to happen? The price is going to go lower. But as we right now don't have a lot of people, and there's a lot of people in the AI world, believe it or not, that are acting fraudulently. So you got to be very careful. So I want to let you know that the AI price structure is going to be very volatile over the next few years because they want to see, are people willing to pay that kind of money? And if they are, well, they're going to charge it. I'm just going to show you one right now, or actually tell you about one, I should say. So, like AI services for one type of a management type service. Uh, just to give you an idea of what some companies are charging, and hopefully this gives you a little bit of an idea to maybe what you can expect. So typically, a lot of companies will give you something free, right? But it's usually not much. It'll have watermarks in it, or it'll be limited to a very short period of time. A lot of places, when you click on pricing, guess what happens? They don't always want to show you the pricing. So there are things like where they want you to test the product out. So they'll give you like one seat per company. You'll get maybe 3 minutes of processing time per month, and you might get 9 projects you can manage at a time. Then some companies will go up to $18. And so the difference is if you pay it monthly, it's $29. If you pay it, let's say the spectrum of paying it yearly, then it's $18. So what would you get in that package? Well, you would get the ability to have access to more languages. You'd be able to remove the company's logo if they're providing a service. That logo will be removed from whatever you're producing, projects, etc. You would get to have one seat, and you'd also get to have 3 alternate seats that you could flip around. You typically would get about 120 minutes of AI processing time. And you also would then get something like chat and email support only. So then you can move over to their third tier, and this is just giving you some ideas, where that's more of like a manager package, and that one runs like $64 a month. Excuse me, if you did it monthly, it's $89 a month. But if you did it yearly, it comes out to be a little bit less money, right? So if you pay it yearly, it's going to be $64 a month. That's a huge jump, right? 80, 80. I can't believe I'm seeing those numbers. So 64 versus $89. That's huge, right? 89 minus 64. Why? They don't want to be in the monthly billing game. That's a $25 difference. In a year, ladies and gentlemen, that is going to be a $300 difference. So the manager level typically will give you the ability to have some ability to connect to other systems. You'll have some API access to their tools. You'll have one seat, and then you'll have 5 people that you can invite to be on the system with you and remove their access, etc. You typically get about 360 minutes. Now, when I was giving you the time, I want to be very clear about this time. The one that I told you about, the 18, that wasn't 120 minutes a month. That was 120 minutes a year. Okay. So, if you go down to the monthly, it's 10 minutes a month. On the manager package, it's 30 minutes a month, or yearly, it's 360 minutes a year. See how that works? You also, at that manager level, you have priority chat and email support. And then if you really want to pull everything all out, you can go into the enterprise level. And, well, they start charging a lot of money at the enterprise level. You start getting things like built-in brand kits. You get one-click conversions, which is really nice. You also get something called SAML and SSO. So SAML is a security assertion markup language, single sign-on interface platform, and a way for users to log into multiple applications using one set of credentials, SAML, S-A-M-L. So that's what you get. You also get the ability to have unlimited personal projects. business projects. You can customize the number of people that you have plus yourself. You can have, in that kind of time, it goes all over the place. So you could be paying a lot of money. So why do I share this with you? I want to let you know that AI is not new, and more companies out there are really trying to take advantage of people by charging them as much as they can. Think of it like this. Have you ever gone to like a ballpark, whether it's Yankee Stadium, Mets, or what have you, and you go there, right? And let's just take this for a moment. If you go buy, let's say, a bottle of water at, I don't know, let's say BJ's or Sam's Club, right? What do they charge you for, let's say, a bottle of water at BJ's or Sam's Club from their, I think they have like a little vending machine there. And if I remember the last time that I went to BJ's and I wanted like a bottle of water, but I have my RO at home, it was 25 cents. Now, if you go to a restaurant and ask for a bottle of water, how much will you pay? Well, it's going to vary. What kind of restaurant is it? Sparkling? Is it still water? Right? How much will you pay for water at a restaurant? Well, you could pay anywhere, ladies and gentlemen, from, let's say, if it's a pizza place, anywhere from $4 to, you could pay as much as some restaurants might charge $5 or $6. So the question is, how much is a bottle of water at Yankee Stadium? How much is a bottle of water at Yankee Stadium? Is everyone ready for this? $8. $8. How much is a bottle of water at Met Stadium? I would guess it's probably going to be the same price, but let's just see. Actually, it's a lot less. At Met Stadium, it's $4.25. That's MetLife Stadium. That's a big difference. That's MetLife. Okay. But if you think about a bottle of water, let's say a bottle of water at Disney World. Now, there's a reason I'm going this way. Okay. So a bottle of water at Disney World typically will cost $3.50 to $4. Okay, you're going to one of those places, you're paying a lot more money. How much is a bottle of water at the U.S. Olympics? You'll see where I'm going in a minute. So a bottle of water at the U.S. Olympics. You ready for this? A bottle of just a plain bottle of water at the Olympics. How much do you think you're going to pay for that? Well, they have something called single-use plastic bottles is what they do. What do you think the price will be for that at the Olympics? You ready for the price? Okay. So a 500 milliliter, basically set of fizzy drinks. Fans are typically being charged, when it was in Europe, it was five pounds. So that's roughly $5.43. So that's not terribly crazy, right? Now, here's one that I think could be very interesting. How much is a bottle of water, or let's just, how much is a bottle of water in Fiji? Again, you'll see why I'm going this way. So a bottle of Fiji water in Fiji itself is significantly cheaper than it is in other countries. Fiji's water is 35 cents to 50 cents for a small bottle. How much is Fiji water in the U.S.? Well, it's a lot more money. You're typically going to pay $2 to $4. So why am I making this up? The reason I'm telling this is that it's about supply and demand. Okay, that's really the issue. So we'll keep an eye, and I'll let you know what's happening there. Google is entering the realm. Google drops their diversity hiring targets as well now. I see a pattern. It's like we first saw the one with Accenture. Now Google, there might be a lot more they're going to jump on board, right? So Google has announced that it will be discontinuing its diversity hiring targets, a shift that's creating waves in the tech world, and the decision reflects broader changes in the company's approach to diversity and inclusion. Focusing on broadening the hiring pool without being tied to specific quotas, Google has emphasized that it remains committed to fostering an inclusive workplace, but will now focus on more holistic approaches to recruitment, talent development, and retention. That's just a lot of political nonsense, if you ask me. This move has drawn mixed reactions, with some applauding it as more organic approach to diversity, while others see it as a step back from Google's previous initiatives to create a more representative workforce. This shift raises important questions about how companies can balance inclusivity with a commitment to merit-based hiring. So I said this to you guys once before. When we say that we're on a path to have a diversity set of workforce, it doesn't mean that we're going to hire people because they're in a diverse class. We're going to try to hire so much of our staff from there, but they still have to have the credentials. If they don't have the credentials, guess what happens? We're not hiring them, right? So I think a lot of people just don't understand that it's still based on merit, but diversity is just the first filter. And then, of course, if they don't have enough people, then they'll open it up to other people. Waabi and Volvo team up on self-driving trucks. This is really cool, ladies and gentlemen. The partnership between Waabi, a self-driving technology startup, and Volvo, a global leader in commercial vehicles, is a game changer for logistics and transportation industries. The collaboration aims to bring self-driving trucks to the roads in a bid to improve efficiency, safety, and cost effectiveness in the trucking industry. Waabi's cutting-edge AI technology, combined with Volvo's engineering expertise, is creating a powerful platform for autonomous vehicles. This technology could reduce human error, improve safety, and lower operational costs for businesses in the freight and logistics sectors. I said it could. I didn't say it will. I said it could. With both companies investing heavily in the autonomous vehicles, this partnership could help accelerate the widespread adoption of self-driving trucks across the globe. That's pretty amazing. So just so you know who Waabi is, in case you were wondering. So Waabi is earmarked to say they're the next generation of autonomous trucking powered by generative AI. In fact, one of the quotes I'm going to read from their founder, Raquel Urtasun, and the person says, quote, self-driving trucks have the potential to change the world of logistics, saving many lives and providing a more sustainable future. Waabi's generative AI technology is turning that promise into reality with a safe, efficient, and scalable solution unlike anything else in the market, close quote. So the thing about Waabi that's very, very interesting is they've got a very unique group of people. And some other people that are, are leading investors and advisors to them are Uber, NVIDIA, Porsche, Volvo, 8VC, OMERS, OMERS. And it's interesting that, they're doing this. I think it's a very interesting thing. And the question is this going to span? And I think it will. Looking at a little bit of their culture and how they work, they're kind of set up in a very playful type environment where they have their creative workspaces. They have a nice team that I can see, and they all have some good qualifications. But I think what's going to be interesting about this is if they're able to pull this off with the trucking industry, right, the logistic industry, it's not going to be long before this actually creeps into, yes, personal vehicles and personal SUVs. Well, Trump's eyes TikTok sale. Donald Trump is once again making headlines with a statement regarding the potential sale of TikTok, the popular social media platform, amid ongoing concerns about national security and data privacy. Trump has claimed that there is a strong interest in purchasing the app, possibly restructuring it to meet regulatory concerns. The ongoing debate over TikTok's ownership has raised critical questions about the role of foreign-owned tech companies in the United States. especially regarding data protection and privacy. The potential sale would undoubtedly reshape the future of TikTok and could have far reaching implications for the social media industry as a whole. As the TikTok saga continues, we're likely to see more twists and turns in the high stakes corporate drama. So the question everyone's asking is, so how long does TikTok have till they would have to shut down? Well, it looks like they're not really fearing this right now. Um, they've upheld the ban temporarily. And the question is, how many days does TikTok have to sell? It's really up in the air. They claim that they halted the ban for 75 days. This is what they claim. And so 75 days, giving China's based owner ByteDance more time to sell a stake in the platform or reach a deal with Trump after that whirlwind period that had happened, in which the ultra-popular social media platform took itself offline for U.S. users for more than 12 hours over the weekend until Trump pledged to act. Now, I want to let you know it was not TikTok and ByteDance that did what they were supposed to take themselves offline. The reason they went offline, I don't know if you guys know this, it's because it's operated by a lot of U.S. Run places, and they didn't want to get dinged or fined. That's really the truth. That's the real reason. So they don't have a lot of time. Again, they are giving them 75 days. So we're going to have to see what happens there. But I'm very curious. Is Trump going to be successful in asking them to pay the $100 million to us so that we can own half of it and basically police it? There's so many people that want to buy it, but TikTok's very careful and critical about who they want to sell it to. And number 6 is hot topic for this week. I think you're going to like is Australia's exempts YouTube from social media ban. So Australia's recent decision to exempt YouTube from its controversial social media ban has raised eyebrows, particularly regarding the future of digital platforms in the country. The exemption comes after significant lobbying from YouTube and other tech companies, and it marks a win for platforms with millions of users. However, the move also raises questions about censorship, free speech, and the ability of tech giants to influence policy decisions. Some critics argue that the decision is too lenient and could get a dangerous precedent, potentially undermining the government's authority over tech regulation. As this case unfolds, it will likely spark a wider global debate about the balance between government oversight and corporate control of social media platforms. Yeah, we're going to be following this very closely, and I'll be letting you know what happens, but I definitely think they're going to get some pushback from a lot of people. Number 7. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed the Super Bowl, and I hope the team that you were rooting for won. Google made a little bit of a boo-boo. Google fixes an AI mistake in their Super Bowl ad. So Google recently made headlines when it corrected an AI-powered mistake in its Super Bowl ad. Yeah, Google used AI to produce their ad. That's really terrible. The ad, which was meant to showcase Google's AI capabilities, initially contained an error in one of the facts it presented. The quick correction highlights the challenges that even the most advanced AI systems can face, particularly when it comes to ensuring the accuracy of data used in real-time applications. While the incident was rare, for Google, it serves as a reminder that AI, while very powerful, still requires human oversight to ensure its functionality and integrity. Understanding this and being able to acknowledge the sparks that flew from all this discussion about responsibility and companies having to be part of when they use AI in public-facing campaigns and advertisements is really something we have to be concerned about. I don't know if you guys know this, but AI makes a lot of mistakes. And one thing I don't know if you know is why is it that AI can't do simple math? Why is it that AI so AI can do math, but the challenges come from how it processes information. So AI systems, like most of the systems online, rely on patterns and probabilities to generate responses. which sometimes can lead to mistakes in simple tasks like arithmetic. The key reason is that they don't understand math, which sometimes can lead to mistakes in simple tasks like arithmetic. The key reason is that they don't understand math in the same way humans do. Relying on rules that encode in algorithms and generating answers, and sometimes errors arise in how these rules are applied or interpreted. For instance, the system can accurately calculate most complex math problems or help with advanced tasks, but there are cases where misinterpretation of inputs or issues in how the math is modeled can cause a mistake. And these problems are typically rooted in the way AI processes language and structures things that are put together and used to represent numbers. However, when it comes to simpler, straightforward calculations, AI is typically, they say, very accurate. Just a matter of making sure the instructions are clear and correct. I have to tell you, that's what most people would say, but I disagree with that last statement. And the reason is I've tested it myself. So I'll give you a perfect example. Go to your AI system of choice, doesn't matter which one, and tell it you'd like to learn mental math. All right. And tell it that you're going to go to the store and you're going to buy something and you want to get change back. Don't give you the answer, but you want to figure out the answer and you want to be given advice whether you're on the right track or not. Well, a couple things are going to happen. One, the system is probably going to just flat out give you the answers. You're going to have to keep going through and say, no, you messed up. I told you not to give me the answer. Give me another problem. Oh, you're right. I'm sorry I interrupted you. That's not really good. I'll do that again. Okay, fine. So after you've done that 2 or 3 times, they've been frustrated to what about that. Now you've got another issue. So now it gives you the problem and you start working on the typical way you work on a problem is you take the number that you're at and you basically take the dollar. So if it's whatever it is, 20 or whatever it is, you want to bring the number that you're basically spending up to a funny number, I'll say a funny number, basically a familiar number, right? And so then you would use that rounding, you'd subtract, you'd add, and then you'd remember to do the reverse in the back. But what would happen is the system would get all messed up with the rounding. And if you try it, it would tell you you're wrong. And you're like, well, wait a minute, I think you're wrong. And like, oh, you're exactly right. So don't trust AI to teach you math because you'll be very disappointed. And UK hospital uses AI for lung cancer detection. This is pretty remarkable. This means a lot to me because I don't know if you guys know this, but it would be my grandfather on my dad's side, and try not to cry here, but he actually died when I was in 2nd grade. So the thing that was a little bit, let's say, jarring about this is that I had learned later on that he smoked, I think, 8 packs a day. And so when he heard that I was going to be born, like within a year or 6 months of me going to be born, he decided to give up smoking, and because he didn't think that would be good to have that around me. It wouldn't be a good thing for my health. So he wanted to make sure he gave that up. And he did. I just wish the grandpa would have done it earlier. So what happened was that that year, I was either in 2nd grade or 3rd grade. It was one of those 2 grades. And I remember we had just moved into a new house from one side of town to the other. And my grandfather was amazing. He would encourage me to the nines. In fact, at that age, he was probably one of the best people that I knew who would encourage me and could just make me believe I could do anything. And with his support, I did. He knew how I loved electronics when I was in school. And so I went to a Roman Catholic grammar school. And he would always pick me up on First Fridays. And one of the things he would do is he would take me out to the I had a local hardware store in our shopping center. And we went to the hardware store and we'd pick up some things. He said, John, what do you want? I said, well, I don't know. What do you want to make? I don't know. Well, let's make a doorbell. And he's like, okay. He's like, pick what kind of doorbell you want. I want the one that's lighted and I want this. So I picked all the fancy things. And what color wire do you want? Oh, we need a battery. And And the guy in the store is like, "What are you guys doing?" I said, Just building stuff." And my parents' whole basement was just wired with all kinds of bell wire and so many different things. But anyway, uh, it was that second or third year, and it was around Thanksgiving time. And my grandfather had gotten rushed to the hospital. And when he was rushed to the hospital, first thing I was, "Is Grandpa okay? He did just doing some tests. He'll be fine." So he still didn't come out, and it's been a couple weeks. And it was Thanksgiving Eve. And I remember my grandmother. I was sitting in the lobby at the hospital, and I remember her coming down to the waiting room. And I was allowed to go see him, but she didn't want me to go see him. My parents were like, you have to wait, until grandma comes back, and then, we can have somebody else go up, because you only could be two people in the room at one time, or something like that. And I think my mom was already up there. Somebody like, you have to wait for her to come back, and then you could go up. Okay, fine. So she came down, and my mom also came down. I said, "Well, you're both down." I said, "Then, Mom, you and I can both go up." And my grandmother, she gave me, I'm trying not to cry. She gave me this little tiny turkey. My grandfather loved chocolate, and I like chocolate too. And he gave me this little tiny turkey off of his cupcake, which is what my grandmother gave me. And she said, "John," she says, "Grandpa wanted to give this to you." I said, "Oh, let's go see Grandpa." And she's like, "Oh, John, we can't right now." "Oh, okay. Well, we'll wait. He's finishing dinner. We'll wait." She's like, "Well, he kind of went to a farm." And I said, "All right. Well, I'm sure he'll be back soon. I mean, it's not that late. I'm sure he'll." "What kind of farm?" She's like, "Well, I said, he'll be back soon." She's like, "Probably." And so my parents were just looking her with like an eye, like they knew something was up. They're like, "Ma, you really got to tell him." I was like, "Grandma, tell me what?" And she looked in my eyes and she said, "John," she says, "Grandpa's uh, Grandpa's not coming back anymore." "Well, what happened? Where'd he go?" And she said the words, and I knew as soon as she said those words, "John, he passed away." And I'm trying not to cry here, but every time I think about the story, it gets so emotional. But the reason I wanted to tell you the story is because of this lung thing. So my grandfather died of lung cancer, and there was never really any great detection for it. I mean, he smoked, and this is why I'll never smoke, never do drugs or anything like that. I don't even want to be around somebody that's vaping or smoking. I mean, I take my health very, very seriously, and I hope all of you do too. But I never got to go upstairs. I never got to hold his hand. I never got to say, "Hey, Grandpa, I love you. Thank you." He knew I loved him, but I never got to say anything to him. The last time I talked to him was, I'm going to say, maybe a couple weeks ago when I went to visit him and he was just having tests done. And Grandma felt really bad that she wouldn't let me go see him, but she said she thought she was protecting me from him. She didn't want to have me exposed to this. And that year was a little hard. We had our Thanksgiving. It was a quiet Thanksgiving. And then because Thanksgiving was actually that night when we went home, we went and had Thanksgiving dinner. It was a very sad Thanksgiving. And I remember the next thing that happened was after this day, we had Christmas. And the thing about Christmas that was interesting is my grandmother didn't want to do anything specific. And so because of the holidays, she didn't want to do anything specific. And because of that, She didn't want to do anything specific. She didn't want to really celebrate the holidays. And I said to my mom, I said, so we're not going to celebrate Christmas this year. And she's like, I guess not. Grandma doesn't want us to. So I went to Grandma and I said, Grandma, I said, I know Grandpa passed away and I miss him. I said, is there a chance that maybe we can at least, I don't know, can we at least just have a tree? Would that be okay? And she broke out in tears. And she said, we can not only have a tree, we can have Christmas. Santa can come. And we can have presents. And you can have a great Christmas. So that's amazing. But she says, I don't want anything for Christmas. I said, what? She says, you can have Christmas because Grandpa would want you to have Christmas. But I'm not going to celebrate Christmas. I'll be there with you, but I'm not going to open any gifts or anything like that. I'll be there to take pictures. I won't wear red or anything like that for Christmas. I'll wear black. And she told my parents the same thing, you can buy me gifts. And she said that she would buy gifts to my parents, but she didn't want any gifts. And this just got me to realize how it's really important to love the people that are in your life. So this UK hospital story about cancer detection really has a chord with me, and now you know why. A hospital in the UK has begun using AI to detect lung cancer more efficiently and accurately. And by utilizing deep learning algorithms, AI is helping to analyze medical images and pinpoint early signs of lung cancer that may be missed by human doctors. Early detection is critical in improving patient outcomes, and this AI-powered approach could be a game changer in the fight against cancer. This development signals the growing role of AI in healthcare, and where it's not only assisting with diagnosis, but also offering doctors new ways to provide personalized treatment plans for patients. If successful, this initiative could expand globally, revolutionizing cancer detection and treatment. And the part I want to end on with just that point is if you know somebody that's smoking, try to get them to stop as soon as they can. Smoking does a lot of bad things to your lungs. And my grandpa knew this, but he was addicted to it. And the one good thing that he taught me, I should say, the one positive thing I can share with you about his passing, besides him, I'm knowing that he loved me and he was such a good supporter of me. And he just was so encouraging to me to do anything. When everybody else said you couldn't do it, Grandpa's like, of course you can do it. And I was able to do it. But one thing I want to leave with you on this point is that he was a good man. And if he didn't smoke, he would have lived many, many years. He was healthy in all other regards. And my grandmother said something to me when I told her thank you for the turkey, which we have like this spoon collection, and it's home by my mom in this like spoon cabinet. She said, I want to let you know something. I want to let you know that Grandpa handed this to you. And he says, he used to call me Johnny. He says, make sure my Johnny gets this. And he asked her, am I going to get to see him? And she said, his name was John. John, I don't think it's a good idea that we bring him here now. And he was very sad. But I was very grateful. And what I learned from this is that never smoke. never do drugs or anything like that, because it was a very priceless lesson. I remember when smoking was even allowed in some restaurants and they had these smoke rooms. You probably remember this many years ago. I I'd have to like hold my breath. I couldn't stand it. I always want to sit in non-smoking. It was so nice to have restaurants that were basically not smoking anymore. Again, I know that was a little deep, but I want to share that story. The story was very personal to me, and it really tied into that story that hopefully will maybe give you some insight. And on a lighter note, NASA partners on a world deepest research pool project. Um, so they've joined forces with NASA joined forces with scientists to study extreme environments through the world's deepest research pools. The collaboration will provide research with a unique opportunity to simulate the conditions that astronauts might face on future deep space missions. The research pool's extreme depth and conditions allow for a variety of related trips to space exploration, including underwater robotics, human endurance, and environmental science. The project marks a significant milestone in both space and ocean exploration, helping scientists develop technologies and strategies that one day could be applied to the exploration of distant planets. I think that's cool. And I know what a lot of you are going to ask me, John, is how deep is this new NASA pool they are building? So this pool is basically being built. It's going to be 50 meters or 164 feet in depth on a 10-acre at an AeroHub Enterprise Zone at the Cornwall Airport in Newquay. So that's a really interesting thing. You don't hear about things like that every day. Number 11, digital therapy apps are helping teens with depression now. A new digital therapy app is designed to help teenagers manage depression, and it's making waves in mental health space. The app uses cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT, one of the most effective treatment methods for depression, to guide teens through interactive exercises and self-care strategies. It provides a safe and accessible space for teens to address their mental health challenges, offering a personalized approach that can be accessed anywhere and at any time. And as mental health continues to be a critical issue among teens, this app provides much needed support in a world where mental health resources can be limited. And maybe your son or daughter might be away at college. This might be a great thing to give them. And again, you don't have to say that these things are to classify your son or daughter a certain way. It's a resource. And if this resource is able to make them happy to be alive, I think that's amazing. And I think that's the time that, there's no labels put on anyone. Here's a tool. If you're feeling lonely and you want to connect and you want to feel a little better, try this tool out. Doesn't mean you're this or you're that. It's just a tool to help you feel better. And it's not drugs. And I think that's a great thing. Smart glasses are struggling with battery life, and smart glasses are one of the most anticipated glasses, wearable technologies, but they're still facing the challenge, which is battery life. And many of the current glass models are unable to last long enough to be truly practical for everyday use, with some devices requiring recharging after a few hours. Despite advancements in battery technology, finding a way to extend the battery life seems to be almost impossible for a lot. As the demand for wearable tech continues to rise, the smart glasses industry is racing to overcome this challenge. And I think as you understand that power has been a challenge for us in a lot of areas. It's been a challenge for us in technology. I don't know if you guys know, around 2002, the Pentium chips, the P2 chips were taking like over 103, 104 volts, a lot of power. And that's why, if you notice, processors kind of slowed down quite a bit. The frequencies, like, they didn't get so fast anymore. Then they had to go into other technology like parallelism and stuff like that. I'm not going to get into all that, but I just want to let you know that power has been what's changed so many industries. And I think that's an important thing. And Google does something which I don't think is really the nicest thing. Speaking about DEI, Google's calendar removes Pride, BHM events over sustainability concerns. So Google Calendar users have expressed frustration over noticing culture events like Pride Month, Black History Month, and others that are diversity related, and they've just vanished from the platform's default listings. Google explained that it had previously manually added such events, but maintaining this broad set of culture observances was unsustainable. In mid 2004, the company reverted to showing only public holidays and national observances from time and date.com globally. Users can still manually add events, but this change has sparked criticism from some who view it as a retreat from inclusivity. And I have to agree. I think it is about inclusivity. And I think there is something that they're all trying to hide against. And I think it's the fact that they're looking for funding and they feel that if they embrace inclusivity, they might not get it. So I think it's about money. And, putting a few things on a calendar, what did that take them? No time at all. If it took somebody an hour to maintain the calendar for the year, that's not long at all. So I've lost a lot of respect for Google, to be honest with you. And our last story for tonight is a real good one. Amazon is going to pay $4 million to settle driver tips lawsuit. Amazon has agreed to pay nearly $4 million to settle the charges that it improperly used tips received by delivery drivers to subsidize its labor costs. The lawsuit brought by the District of Columbia's Attorney General alleged that Amazon misled customers about how tips were used within its Flex program, which allows individuals to deliver packages with their own cars. The settlement follows a previous $61.7 million payment to resolve similar accusations from the FTC, the Federal Trade Commission, in 2021. And the company denies wrongdoing, but under the settlement terms, it will pay fines, legal fees, and update its website to clarify how tips affect driver earnings. I'm sorry. If you didn't do anything wrong, then you shouldn't have to pay. You guys all know that you did something wrong. I think you believe that by saying that you did nothing wrong, do you think that exemplifies you? Well, it doesn't. It just makes us really understand the fact that you're just all about money. You're not about people. You're not about values. You're not about doing what's right for the greater good of all concerned. And I think that's the problem with some of the companies now with tech. They're using it to exploit people in ways that people have no idea. And by them doing this, they're actually causing people extra money. Other charges are being hit by them, other protection services, and there's just no reason for it. But when you have big pockets like these companies and, you do something wrong, you feel, well, we're X, we're Y, we're Z, we can do whatever we want. I have to say something. There's a company out there, IBM, and IBM has changed, but they never acted like this. Of course, they went away from the big suit type approach, right? But they never acted this way. And to that, I'd like to tip my hat off to IBM because they always seem to keep their corporate culture intact, and they do maintain a good set of resources for inclusivity. Ladies and gentlemen, I am John C. Morley, serial entrepreneur. It's always such a privilege, pleasure, and honor to be with you guys on this show and every other show. Thank you for tuning into the JMOR Tech Talk Show, your weekly technology show to give you everything you need to know about the latest trends and what you need to be aware of. Do check out BelieveMeAchieve.com, and I'll catch you guys on another show real soon. That'll be next week. Take care, everyone, and be well.